Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about too many SOQL queries 101 Salesforce exception. System.LimitException too many SOQL queries 101 Salesforce exception is thrown when we execute more than 100 SOQL queries in a single transaction for synchronous transaction. If you use asynchronous transaction like queuable interface, future method, or batch apex, then the limit is 200. This is a governor limit in Salesforce. In a synchronous transaction, we cannot execute more than 100 SOQL queries. But for asynchronous transaction, Salesforce has set the limit to 200. If your query has subqueries, then each parent-child relationship count as an extra query, but the subqueries limit is 3 times higher than the top level queries. So if it is 100, then it will be 300. Let's see this sample code or and the SOQL. I am getting ID and contacts, cases, and opportunities from account. If I execute this SOQL, one SOQL query count will be calculated against synchronous transaction, and 3 subqueries are there, so there should be 3 subqueries limit from the 300 limit what we have. Let's execute this query and see the debug.statements to get the limit and also check what is the usage after executing this query. So once this SOQL is executed, I have few debug statements. One, to get the SOQL limit and the usage. Using limits.getLimit queries, I can find out how much queries I can execute, and using limits.getQueries, I can find out how much queries I have used. Limits.getLimit aggregate queries and limits.getAggregate queries will return the subqueries limit and the subqueries usage. Let's execute this. So this SOQL will be executed. It will show me the number of SOQLs that are allowed, number of SOQLs got executed, that is the usage, number of subqueries that are allowed, number of subqueries usage. So here the number of SOQLs allowed for me is 100. The usage I have used is 1. Subqueries usage is 300, which is 3 times higher than the parent level query, and the number of subqueries I have ran is 3. In Apex, if I use SOQL and subqueries, not that alone will contribute towards the System.LimitException too many SOQL queries. There are other things that got executed in the same transaction will also contributes towards this SOQL limit. Let's see what are all the other things that will count towards this SOQL limit. The first thing is, let's say I am inserting an account and I have some trigger. In the trigger I have some 4 SOQLs. So those 4 SOQLs will be executed and my count will be 4 now. Let's say I have a record triggered flow on account object which has 4 or 5 get records element. Then those things will also be calculated against the SOQL limit. This get elements behind the screen, it will generate a SOQL and then it will get executed in Salesforce. So that flow get records element is also counted against this limit. Next, Flow update records or delete record elements that use filter conditions. If I use update update element or record element, and then if I add a condition to it, filter condition to it, then it will count towards that limit. The quick workaround for this is, if you already have the ID, you can create a variable and then you can delete it or update it, so that we can avoid one SOQL limit. If and we can avoid using we can avoid when we use flow update or delete elements in the flow. Next important thing is, in the process builder, if you use any update record actions, that also contributes towards your SOQL limit. This SOQL limit is an important Salesforce interview question also. There are so many additional resources that are available from Salesforce Trailhead also. Go through them thoroughly. You can have this video as a reference, and then you can use additional resources and gain more knowledge about this SOQL 101 Salesforce exception. Please check my video description. I have shared my blog post. From the blog post, you should be able to get this sample code which was referenced in this video. You can use this sample code as a reference and adjust this as per your business requirement when you implement it. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.